And speaking of Karis Stadium and the University of Mount Union, let's bring him in, the head football coach of the Purple Raiders, the mighty, mighty Purple Raiders of the University of Mount Union. Coach Geoff Dartt joins us hot after practice today.
Yeah, literally just walked in.
Wow, Coach, you didn't have to hurry on account of me, but I certainly do appreciate it. So fall break, and I just got the note from SID Nate about a half hour ago about it. So is this like this goes every year? You've got the time where you got the fall break and you got to shut practice down early that day, or how does that work?
Yeah, we adjust our schedule a little bit. So normally we lift in the morning at 6 a.m. with the guys. So we let them lift at 9 a.m. today. Then we had our normal Tuesday, Thursday meetings at 11:15, and then we just got done with practice. So give them a little bit more time to relax. And then tomorrow, no classes again. So we won't go at 6 a.m. for practice. We'll go at 9:30. And then some of the guys will take off actually, we're going to stay in Findlay for the trip tomorrow.
Okay, very good. So is that the norm, Coach, for you guys to get rolling at 6 a.m. during the week for practice?
On Fridays, yes.
Oh, just on Friday. Okay.
Yep, just on Fridays. Really quick, 75-minute practice, some review, kind of some situational 2-minute situation, end of game, just so we're continuing to practice that, and always different scenarios in terms of time left on the clock, timeouts left, just so we're working that. And then as a staff, we watch that together. Hey, should we have spiked the ball? Should we have taken the timeout? So I think it's been really good for us.
Very good. And you never know when those situations are going to come up, but they will eventually, end of a half, end of a game. And, of course, you got a great guy out there, Mikey Maloney, to kind of orchestrate all that stuff, at least on the offensive side of the ball. And defense, I know you got some quarterbacks on the team as well out there on the field, making sure that things go smoothly. Coach, before we dig into Mount Union and what's coming up and what's in the rearview mirror a little bit, I wanted to ask you about, I'm sure you heard about yesterday, it looks like, we've talked about NIL for college football before. Now it looks like it's going to come to Ohio for high school football. It's not a done deal 100%, but it sure looks like it's creeping toward that. What do you make of that if it does happen here in the state of Ohio?
Yeah, obviously I'm not one of the people that are the deciding factor on that. I believe as long as it's regulated at all levels, and there's some sort of guidelines that everyone will follow and participate with, I think it could be a good thing. It just can't get out of control.
Yeah, I was a little bit in the dark. I got to admit, I found out yesterday that 44 of the 50 states allow NIL in high school football, and I didn't know that. I didn't know it was that many.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And I think I read a stat where Illinois has it, but they only had a total of 8 players that were profiting off of NIL this past season. So we'll see how it goes in Ohio. It's interesting to see as we move through the times here a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's one of the other things is, how does it operate from school to school?
Right.
Yeah, I just think that's interesting.
Yeah. Do you think that it would how do I phrase this? Do you think it would create more possible transfer issues within high school if, word gets out about school X, you might get a little better opportunity here than where you're at. You can come on over and you can play also. Do you think that would come in too?
Yeah. And, I know some of that stuff already goes on, not just in Ohio, but right. Everywhere, people transferring and, thinking the grass is greener here rather than there. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying people don't deserve NIL or anything like that, but I think there has to be some rules and regulations that, are followed, and somebody's got to be the governing body to, make sure it's being overseen properly.
Yeah, no doubt. That definitely needs to come into play. Geoff Dartt is with us, the outstanding head football coach of the Purple Raiders of Mount Union, 1310 WDPN, the Sam Bourquin Show on a Thursday afternoon. Coach, just a quick look back at last weekend. A little bit of a trip on the bus down to Wilmington. You handle your business and you come back home. Just your quick, immediate thoughts on the win and how the young men played for you.
Yeah, definitely handled the trip. Played well in all three phases. Really happy with the defense creating the turnovers that they did and giving the offense some extra possessions there. And then we showed up on special teams. I thought we had some guys running down on kickoff with intent. So we're taking that momentum, into this practice week, and we're looking forward to taking another business trip over to Tiffin on Saturday.
Absolutely. And you guys really came out. You were focused. You were ready to go. You jumped on them. And I don't know, is that like part of is that the business mentality wherever you go, guys? Let's come out of the locker room and let's step on them early. Don't let them up, and we'll go from there. Yeah,
we always want to get off to a fast start. So it always starts with, a kickoff or a kickoff return. And we talk about in special teams, we want to create momentum, right? And then we want to control the momentum in those situations. So whether that's defense rolling out there, getting a 3 and out, or offense, sustaining a drive and going to get a touchdown, I think that is how we want to create momentum and then keep it.
So the trip to Tiffin coming up here, Heidelberg on Saturday, 1:30. We'll have it on 1310 WDPN. The Student Princes, always a pretty good challenge. I think that's a cool little environment that they play in up there. I always love the trips to go up there when Mount plays. And you're just a couple of quick thoughts on the Berg on Saturday.
Yeah, no, I love their stadium, especially when they got that, situated on campus when Coach Hallett was there. But Coach Donaldson has done a really good job taking over that program after Coach Hallett. They're aggressive on defense. They got a lot of really good athletes. And then on offense, they got a quarterback and a running back that are pretty explosive. And they want to play fast and run a lot of plays. So I believe our defense has done a really good job preparing for that. And like I said before, we're excited to get over there and execute efficiently on Saturday.
What have you really loved about your defense here the last couple of weeks? 7 to Otterbein, you got the shutout at Wilmington. Even before that, I thought you had some really nice stretches of D at BW.
Yeah.
Who's been really playing well for you?
Really, all of them, right? I think we're, playing complementary football on defense, where the rush has been good. Maybe we haven't been, getting all the sacks in the past, but I think the quarterbacks are feeling the pressure, which is obviously helping the coverage, creating some inaccurate throws. And then last week specifically, the tacklers at the second and third level going after the ball and creating those fumbles. That's what really stuck out to me. So Coach Ely and the defense has been doing a great job in practice. They kind of rotate through circuits as they're doing team, and obviously it's showing up on tape.
I don't know how many solos or assisted tackles that Caleb Brown had Saturday, but I do know from my vantage point up at Wilmington, he was tiring me out. He was running all over the field. I mean, Coach, he was chasing guys, both ends of the field, both side to side. Talk about his efforts and what he's been doing for you here lately.
Yeah, his effort is outstanding. Quite frankly, we do good on good in practice, and I would love if he sat those periods out, to be perfectly honest with you. So I'm glad we don't have to block him on Saturday.
Right.
So that's this week. That's Jason Lewis's job, who is a Mount Union Purple Raider and my best friend, but I'm not going to like him on Saturday. So
I mean, Caleb's just been.
Yeah,
he always brings it, but my goodness, the last
his overall development, his work ethic, and only playing 1 year of high school football, that's the crazy thing. But
right.
His body has changed so much, and that's just him wanting to be really, really good, and it's his consistent hard work.
Coach, is he a vocal leader or a lead by example guy?
Yeah, I think more by example, but he's kind of grown into, being a vocal leader. Obviously the guys are aware of who he is, especially the young guys. So they're paying attention to him. But I think, him and Jerry Cooper and Gio Kennedy, they're the 3 elected captains. I think they've done an outstanding job in that role so far this year.
Geoff Dartt is our guest, head football coach at Mount Union here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WD10. Mount Union at Heidelberg, Saturday, 1:30. We'll have the call from Tiffin. Coach, I've been meaning to ask you for a couple of weeks, and I try to, as much as I'm doing play-by-play, obviously I got to follow the ball and where it's going. But I pay particular attention when you guys are on defense. I watch your DBs, and I try to watch them, whether it's bump and run or you guys are running a little bit of a zone. It looks like your guys, and I don't know if they're coached up this way or not, and if they are, my God, they're doing a great job. They're able to stick on guys so tight, but most of the time without drawing penalties, and just have terrific one-on-one coverage. Do you guys do certain techniques, certain practices? How do you do that? Because they really, I think, do a great job with that.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I hope you didn't jinx us.
Again, no.
But no, like I mentioned before, we do a lot of good on good. And most of that is actually meant for, the coverage, the wide receivers. And then they do some matchup periods throughout the week of practice where might not be a ton of reps, but, it's just a one-on-one, wide receiver versus either a corner or a safety. See who can get open, see who can cover. I think the guys handle that really, really well, and obviously we're seeing the results on the field.
And sometimes the officials get a little over anxious, and they'll drop a little laundry on the field. But you guys are just you're there. You're right on the receivers without committing penalties, and there's an art to that. I mean, you have to be super duper athletic and smart to be able to do that.
Yeah, there's no question. I think it starts with the coaches. So Darrell Ely is obviously the defensive coordinator, but, he was an All-American cornerback here. And then Lou Berry is new on our staff this year. He was Defensive Player of the Year as a cornerback his senior year. So they got some great resources, and they're like sponges and learning a whole lot right now. So hopefully they continue to cover like that, and the laundry stays in the pocket of the referees.
Yes, please. All right, Coach, it's a 3-question Thursday. Are you ready for the quiz? I know you always love taking these.
I do. I actually really do.
All right, awesome. We'll do 6 of them then. No, okay, we'll just do 3. All right, question number 1. This is a Browns question. Do you think both Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson will play this season for the Browns?
Oh, gosh. I would say for sure Shedeur, but I'm not too sure about Watson.
Okay. All right. I think it might happen. I don't know. We'll see. Question number 2. This will be a fun question for you as a coach, because I know you're out and about at a lot of places. Yeah. In the state of Ohio, best game night atmosphere for high school football?
Yeah, that's a great question. Massillon has a great environment. I've been to many of those games. Mm-hmm. I've been to some games down at the Olentangy schools in Columbus. I think they have a great environment. Obviously, McKinley playing at what I still call Fawcett Stadium there.
So do I.
That's a great environment. But there's many. I mean, I think, everyone thinks the big schools and all of that. But, when you go to some of the smaller schools, I think they have a great environment too. So Ohio high school football is the best. So,
no doubt. Did you get to West Branch last Friday or no?
I did not, unfortunately. Yeah. So I wanted to go out there. We obviously have some West Branch guys on our team, and then we have one student assistant. So we're very familiar with West Branch. And to be honest with you, I didn't until I saw some highlights. I completely forgot that they got turf this year.
Their first year. Yeah.
I thought that would never happen. But
yeah. Neither did they.
I'm aware.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was the first time in 30 years of doing this that I've called a game at West Branch. And I'm going to tell you what, I think it holds like 3,500 people, but that was one of the best atmospheres I had ever been in. I mean, it was nonstop from like 6:15 until 000s were on the clock. I had a ball, and I can't wait to go back. Sure. Question number 3. Will the Ohio State Buckeyes repeat as national champions for college football?
I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know. I grew up a Michigan fan. That could be an unpopular opinion, but now I'm just a Mount Union fan. I don't know. They got a pretty good team. Indiana seems like they maybe stepped up to another level this year with the big win out at Oregon. I do enjoy, watching some games after our games, whether that's on the bus or at home. So there's a lot of really good football teams at that level. So I'm excited to watch some more games this year.
All right, Coach. Always a pleasure. Safe travels with the crew up to Heidelberg, and we'll see you Saturday.
All right. Thanks. Go Raiders.
You got it. Go Raiders. There he goes. Head coach Geoff Dartt of the University of Mount Union joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN.